It is actually. I feel like since it's summertime, I feel like there's just a lot of shit news wise that's moving in the on the socials, man.
Yeah, it's getting it's been getting wild. I feel like I was just telling someone that like every day it's just like there's something new that
What do you
happens.
think? What do you think is going on in the universe? Do you think it's just because it's summertime and you just feel like there's a lot of movement and people are like kind of free to do whatever? Or
Well, I think that hold on.
shall I just be like I don't blame you. It's kind of hard to like try to post something while you talking.
It is. It's so hard to multitask. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, because usually what happens is like at the beginning we go live and then we're posting the link onto our stories to let people know that we're live. But let me Chris Brown. I know, right? 100 fucking subs. Can they hear you? Vic?
Now they can, yeah, through my mic on.
Yeah, man. I mean, shit. We just hit 100 subs. I took a big swig of Tito's last night. In celebration for us hitting 100 subs on this channel. Still no official announcement or shout outs yet. You know what I mean? This is all organic. All organic.
Yeah, just off the stories, Instagram.
Chris
All right,
Brown. Chris Brown arrested.
about to hit a parlay that I sent in my chat. If Chelsea can hold it together for the last 2 minutes of this match. Golazo!
What are you betting on?
Soccer, English Premier League.
You just bet on like what do you do? You just study everything and then you bet on it?
I find sports that I mean, honestly, tennis is entertaining, soccer is entertaining, MLB is
Bro,
entertaining.
Vic, you be breathing like you got like 4 kids.
Yeah.
Bro, Vic, you be doing the dad side. The
Yeah.
what do you say?
No, no, man.
But what's up? You be just studying the field and just be betting.
I just study like different sports. Yeah. I mean, honestly, I think betting has made me like fall in love with soccer, fall in love with baseball. Like, it's weird, but I mean, I actually do like watching these sports now.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I soccer is always. It's funny. I fell in love with soccer first. That was my first love.
Same here.
Yeah.
FFPS. Did you
What do
play
you
FFPS?
were you asking me like if I did that?
Yeah. Did you play FFPS growing up?
I don't even know what that means, but I played youth organized soccer. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean there was a league called FFPS that was like fun, fair, positive soccer. That's the abbreviation.
What the hell?
Yeah, it was a soccer league. It was like soccer league for kids. But that's what I played growing up.
Uh, maybe I did. I mean, I was in San Antonio when I was doing this shit, so I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't know if
I
this
don't,
is.
I don't know if it was in San Antonio, but yeah, that was my league.
Before we jump in, man, what's new with you? I know we tap in every other day, but how's your Friday going? How's your
It's
Thursday?
good. A couple other businesses I'm trying to get off the ground. I feel like life has been life and not life in a good way, where like I feel like a lot of things that I guess prayed for have been coming to fruition now, and now I'm actually very busy. I have like a lot of different things that I'm trying to do all at once. Of course, this podcast, I have my sports betting chat. I have two other separate businesses that I'm trying to get off the ground, and then I also have Anaka, obviously. I can't forget about that. So yeah, it's been very active. What about you?
Same old, man. I feel like I've been putting some very social media like plays in motion, just kind of waiting for those to kind of jump off. I feel like sometimes like as a social media entrepreneur, you'll work hard for like 2 days or a day and like accomplish a lot, and then the rest is just waiting. Like either
Yeah.
getting designs back, getting like a full program back. Like I'm literally just in the waiting phase. So whenever that drops, I'll be able to activate more on social media and post about them. But kind of like not as busy as you, but basically the same shit. Like just
Yeah, I
waiting
mean,
for the place to hit.
I think, I mean, everyone has their own style of busy. I had a moment the other day when, like, I don't know, how sometimes life can be overwhelming.
Mhm.
I was overwhelmed for a second, And then I quickly realized that like I'd rather be overwhelmed with a bunch of stuff to do than to be like there was a moment, man. There was a moment not too long ago from now where like all I had was a Naka. And
Mm.
you know, when you have only for me, I was actually just talking to someone about this today. When you have only one thing to focus on, and you know, for me, Anaka is kind of rinse and repeat. And it's rinse and repeat. And at the same time, you know, there's a lot of dead time in Anaka when you're waiting for, like you said, waiting for designs, waiting for this, waiting for the next drop, you know, waiting for the next event that we're planning. Like there's a lot of like, you know, wait, dead time. You know, I had a moment the other day where I felt overwhelmed with all the stuff that I had to do, and I quickly like snapped out of it and you know told myself that I was grateful. I practiced gratitude for like just having a bunch of stuff on my like agenda for the day or for the week. Like even yesterday, I was like, "Damn, today's about to be a freaking busy ass day."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Man, I love this," because me and you, Russ, we were just talking about how like, bro, we were literally just talking about this like a week or 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, where I was just like, "Man, like, I gotta find like something that occupies my time because like." When I'm done with a Naka, and there's many days where like maybe there's 1 or 2 meetings for a Naka, and then after that I'm free as a bird. There's the meetings, there's the workouts, and then after that I'm free as a bird. So like I definitely am grateful. I feel like, you know, as a man of faith, I feel like a lot of things that I've prayed for are finally coming to fruition, and I'm very thankful for it. So
You
yeah,
know, it's funny. You know, it's funny. The meetings too be lasting like 20, 30 minutes sometimes. Like sometimes you like amp yourself up so much for a call. I don't know if you get this, but I get like anxiety for a business call. And
yeah,
like I have all this pent up energy or aggression towards it, and then it's literally over in like 20, 30 minutes. I'm like, man, this could have been like a text thread or an email or something like that. And then you're
yeah.
done for the day. Like sometimes just and it's like, bro, I was like planning my whole day around this 1 30-minute call. Now I ain't got shit to do for the day.
Yeah, it happens. It happens a lot for me. And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. When I get meetings, I pray for. When I get meetings and I know it's like a slow day, I pray for that meeting to be like long because like not pray, but like I hope it's gonna be like a longer meeting because like I just know that after that meeting, like what the hell, what else am I gonna do? You know?
Yeah, yeah,
So like that's what I'm on your side of like you know I hype myself up for meetings sometimes, and then you know sometimes they're just really not as long as I'd like them to be, but.
yeah.
Like I said, overall, you know, I'm happy to be busy. I'm happy to be getting to a good place mentally, physically, emotionally. Everything's good.
That's dope. But shit, I mean, we could just jump straight into it because there's actually a lot of shit that's been going on. I mean, we could. I feel like maybe we should start with the culture shit because I mean the sports stuff is kind of like not as juicy right now. But I mean, I know you got super horny whenever uh Chris Brown got arrested. Like you texted the chat and you said, "Yo, whatever, like next pod, lead with this. We're talking about this. Yo, this has to da da da." So, I mean, do you want to get that? Yes, Celtics win without Tatum. We talk about Chris Brown because he has to go all the way down. But yeah, do you want to? I mean, what are your thoughts on Chris Brown getting arrested? And do you know the whole situation?
So, one, I did not get horny over Chris Brown getting arrested.
What I mean by horny is excited. My fault. My fault.
I didn't get excited either because I'm actually a huge fan of Chris Brown. I
Yeah.
would say the word or the phrase or the feeling that I felt when he got arrested was, you know, one, this would be a great topic for the podcast. This would be a great thumbnail to bring in more viewers. And then two, um, I'm a huge fan of Chris Brown, and you know, it just kind of seems like he can't stay out of trouble.
Yeah.
And you know, I've vouched for him in certain cases, especially I've vouched for him in certain cases. There obviously is that one case that you can't really vouch for a man in, obviously the Rihanna situation. But you know, prior to that or after that, there's been a lot of situations where I've kind of been on his side or whatever, or just kind of like vouch for him, whatever. But you know, I don't know, man. This is why I wanted to have this conversation over the podcast because like you would think that like after getting into a situation like the Rihanna incident, and then there was an incident where like didn't he like break a glass at Good Morning America
Yeah.
through a chair out throughout? So you would think that you know, no,
He's
so
done more too.
what'd you say?
He's done a little bit more than that. So.
Yeah, well, yeah. There's this Karuchi. There's a Karuchi situation. Like, I don't know. You would think that after all these incidents, you would do your best to stay out of trouble. And then I think there was like the cocaine and drugs, all these things that have come. Like, you would think that you would do your best to stay out of trouble. And I've just always wanted him to get to a place where he would just solely focus on his music and, you know, repairing his career and just bettering his career. I think the repairing part is kind of out the window, but I mean, making most of what's left. You know, he has a very strong fan base. No matter where he concerts or where he tours, like it's always going to be sold out.
Yeah.
I mean, that's amazing. He should be so thankful for that because there's a lot of celebrities and artists that can't do that today still. But I don't know. I just feel like when God continues to give you new blessings and new beginnings and you continue to mess it up, there's just going to be that one time where, like, you know, you can't bounce back from it. And this whole Manchester situation, to answer your second question, I think I was from what I've read, it looks as if he got in trouble for something in Manchester in 2023. And, you know, this could be wrong. I'm not 100%. He got in trouble for something in Manchester, UK or whatever, Manchester in 2023. I guess he went back.
Yeah.
Thinking that he was good. And, you know, when you go to these foreign countries and you have a warrant, they're probably just waiting.
Yeah, they're waiting.
They're foaming at the border, foaming just to take you in and to plaster you all over the tabloids. And I think that's what happened. He went back. He had a warrant for his arrest. Either his team didn't double check on it or he just never cared to follow up on it. And he went back thinking that, okay, since they haven't contacted me or I haven't gotten any contact, I'm going to go over there. And then, you know, of course, they arrest him for an incident back in 2023.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, like he's, you know, he I think he tried to get bail or get released and he's not coming out until June 13th.
Really?
Yeah, they just followed up on that. He's not coming out until like June 13th, bro.
Man, that is tough, bro.
Yeah. I mean, just kind of like echoing what you said, it's just kind of unfortunate, man. Like, I mean, we grew up on Chris Brown. Like, we literally watched him be like the young prodigy, and we watched the whole Rihanna situation in real time happen. And it just seems like from that point on, he just hasn't been able to get like a solid grip of like not getting in trouble. I mean, shit. Once again, we're recording this May 16th, and you know, we're just going off the information that we have. But you know, I mean, who knows exactly what happened with that situation? But it's just like when you get to a certain point of success or a certain point in your life, I just feel like you should be doing everything in your power to avoid situations like that. And it just seems like he always tends to find himself like amongst those situations. And it's just like, damn, dog, you're literally one of the most talented human beings to have ever existed. And like,
just keeps finding trouble.
Yeah, I don't even like public. Like, do you ever feel kind of like scared to post that you listen to Chris Brown publicly?
I used to, but I mean, but I kind of got over it. For me, my thing is that, you know, everyone deserves a second chance, and I'm not going to continue to like hang this dude, you know, for like something he did back way back, and you know, he's obviously apologized for it, whatever. And if you really dissect that situation, you know, both parties are kind of wrong when it comes to the whole Rihanna situation. But you know, he shouldn't have done that. You should never put your hands on a woman, whatever. But I don't ever feel bad. I used to, not anymore. I mean, because he's put out some solid body of work in the last couple of years. The last 5 years, I mean, shit, Residuals is fucking a top 100 song, bro. Like, he's put out some fire tracks. The fact that he's still able to chart this late in his career, bro, like, that's amazing. So
he just won his Grammy, right?
Yeah, he just won a Grammy. Yeah.
Or Grammy. Which, like, I mean, he should have multiple, but just given off the situation that he had, I mean, they're not going to give that to him.
So yeah, I mean, it's tough, and I have a lot of friends that are also fans of Chris Brown, and it's just kind of a setback because to answer from your perspective of what you're asking, like, as a fan, it kind of just makes you want to shrivel up a little bit inside because, like, you're a huge fan of this person, you proclaim him, you say it out loud, but he keeps getting in trouble. Granted, I mean, yeah, this is another abuse case. Like, all his cases are abuse.
Yeah, physical violence and stuff.
He must have some sort of like switch that he can't turn off. And I don't know. He needs someone in his party to really like humble him, or I don't know. He needs a good girl. He needs a solid woman. He needs a good member in his party to humble him.
Why is Cement Athletic saying this is a wild take?
Yeah, I don't get that. Maybe
Yeah.
he's about to drop something.
Huh?
Maybe he's about to say something.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's about to say, but I'm not apologetic to Chris Brown. I mean, like, I fuck with his music, him as a human being. Hey, bro, you know what I mean? I don't know. I think it's so funny. I think this particular one will be like close and shut. Like, I feel like he'll just be out, and like we'll all kind of forget this happened. Like this one.
For sure.
Like this particular one, because it's like it's a dude.
It's in the UK.
It's just like I don't know. We don't know the information. It's his manager's fault for not verifying. He was. Oh, sure.
I agree with that. That you have to fire your management team after that. If you're a management team that you're paying, I don't know, X amount of dollars, I'm sure it's a lot of money. You're paying X amount of dollars to your management team to kind of check in on your life and shit. Like, you should know if you can go back to another country,
Especially if the last time you were there was something that went down.
Exactly.
I just wonder what that process is like. Like, I don't think you've never been in trouble overseas, right? Where like you've had a situation. Like, no, I'm talking about like where like you have to like check in with. I don't know. I don't why give me like that.
You're accusing me of being a criminal.
I don't know. I don't know, man.
You're just casually asking me if I've committed a crime on.
No, because I'm like, because I have like.
What the fuck am I supposed to say? Like what? Like, nigga, what? You're like, have you ever been in trouble overseas? Like, nah, nigga, I don't push weight. I'm good. Nah, I have not. To answer your question, I haven't.
I'm saying like in general, like I haven't.
In general, what? Like
I haven't ran into like any issues like overseas or anything like that. So I don't know what the process is. Like, if you are someone like a Chris Brown and like the last time you're overseas, like were police called or what? Like, how would you know there's a warrant out for your arrest?
Oh, I mean, are you talking about his return or the first time?
His return, like both, like his return.
So his return, I think, bro, once you enter a country, like it flags.
Well, yeah, once you get to customs.
Yeah, it flags. Yeah, they don't play around with it, bro. I have actually, you know what? I have a story. I went to Egypt, and on the way back from Egypt, I went to Egypt and I spent like 2 to 3 weeks on that side of the world, and that was a really cool trip. Came back. I went to Dubai and Egypt. Came back, and as soon as I crossed the United States border, because of my name, Shawley, I guess, since it's pretty unique, and because of where I came from, they pulled me back at Houston. They put in the U.S. Custom Borders office at the airport. They pulled me back and talked to me for like almost an hour and a half. Yeah, they interrogated me for almost an hour and a half. Well, they made me wait for like an hour, and then they interrogated me for 30 minutes because of where I was coming from, the high terrorism attack in the high terrorism attack level in that area, Egypt, and then my name. So they asked me where I was from. They asked me where my name was from. They asked me, all these. They verified a lot of information with me. So yeah, I mean, that just goes to show that like they don't like when you think they're not watching, they're definitely watching. So for Chris Brown to re-enter the Chris Brown of all people to re-enter the UK, shit, I'm sure there's something on one of their systems that popped up that okay, we got him. We know where he's going because on the visa thing, you have to put where you're staying.
Yeah.
You know where he's going.
Yeah, they picked him up at the hotel. Yeah. I just think, I mean, like, man, I don't know, man. I feel like he's like one of those careers that you look at and you're like, man, you could have been like up there, probably Beyonce level. Like, I mean, people used to make debates about whether he was up at that Michael Jackson level.
Yeah, I mean that would have been something that we would have, it would have been like the MJ LeBron debate if he didn't get in trouble, but he did get in trouble.
He was on that trajectory for sure.
Yeah, and you kind of just have to etch that part out of your mind and out of history because he's still a talented individual. He still makes good music, but man, there's just something about Hollywood, man, that just it gets to people. It gets to people, and it's insane. What's up, Roberto? And
Appreciate
JT,
you, Roberto.
they heard coke in your name. That's crazy.
He said, "Search that nigga." Hey, but I feel like so. Like for me, like I said, I truly believe this is just big news because it is Chris Brown and he's getting arrested for something that was violent. But just I think because it was probably a dude he did it to, and it was like 2023. I feel like this is gonna be like open and like it's gonna disappear. Like he's gonna come out and we're just gonna be like, oh shit, I forgot he was arrested.
If it was a female though, and we get more information,
Oh no.
he might be RIP.
Mm.
But he won't be RIP, but he'll definitely take a hit. If it's a dude, unfortunately, it won't get the coverage that it deserves. And then two, another thing is that like we don't even know like the details of how it happened, or if he punched him in the face, or if it was just like a shove.
It could be someone from his camp. Who knows? I don't know. And then he's getting the blame for it.
Yeah. Do we care if he assaulted a man?
No,
I mean, yeah, I don't.
I mean, like, bro. I mean, let's be real. Like, do we care? Like, if anything, he kind of gets stripes. Like, it's kind of like, not that he gets stripes, but it's more so like, damn, he's really about that action. Like, that's
no. It depends. It depends on how it happened. Like, I think in my head, I would assume you're Chris Brown. You're in the UK. You probably had a heckler or a fan come up to you and say something.
So it was I think it was a DJ, and he said that it was completely unprovoked, and he hit him in the head with a bottle.
Oh yeah, okay.
That's what he's saying. That's what's out so far. We don't know the other side of the story. I'm just saying, like, you know, that's what's out right now.
Yeah, let me not make too many comments on something that I'm not sure about.
Yeah, it's just like more so just like, hey, we figured this out as it happens. We might literally learn like as we jump off a stream the next day, this is what happened. Da da da. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll see. I mean, I was gonna go buy tickets to see him in September. I think he's coming to Houston in September when he does his tour.
Mm-hmm.
And I was for sure gonna slide. I was making jokes. I'm gonna go watch it, but I'm not gonna like proclaim to the world I'm going to go see Chris Brown. You know what I mean?
I would if I go.
Do you get those DMs where it's like, how could you listen to him? Da da da. No,
I used to, but not anymore. The people that still hang on to that are like losers, because like I guarantee you they're supporting other artists that have done just as equal or if not worse things. And it's just like, you know, I think a lot of people latch onto the whole Chris Brown, I hate Chris Brown thing because they just feel like they have to stick to it.
Yeah, it's like the cool thing to do. Because like when you think about it, if you listen to rap music, they killing niggas on that shit. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
and they admit it.
Yeah, and they're selling drugs and all that kind of stuff. It's like where do you stop? Like where do you draw the line? You know what I mean?
Shit. Kendrick Lamar was rapping about being a pedophile. Like,
well, no, he was rapping about Drake being a pedophile.
Well, yeah, but Drake isn't a pedophile.
We should also not say that word because it
censored.
Yeah, it like shocks. It like kills the reach and all that shit. But
Cheaters.
Chris Brown is only canceled on the internet, but the fact that I waited an hour to buy tickets to his concert shows me that it's still, it's grandstanding for sure. Like Chris Brown, like don't get it fucked up. I think it's cool to hate him on social media, but that shit don't exist in real life. Like,
yeah, no, he be. I've been to like 4 or 5 Chris Brown concerts in the last 10 years, and every single one that I've been to has been completely sold out. And it's been phenomenal from start to finish. Dancing, choreography, stage setup, stage presence. He puts money and time and effort. I mean, he really takes his craft seriously.
Did you see him flying in like South Africa? He was like, they had him in the it's just flying. I'm like, man, I'm gonna have to see him go to one of these shows, bro.
It makes you think when you're on that level. He's like 36, I think.
Yeah.
You know, and you're performing, you're continuing to have to perform at that level. I see why a lot of them turn to drugs because, like, shit, you need something to keep you going when you're performing night after night, traveling, dehydrated, and just like worn out and mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. Like, you know, you need something to keep you going. Shit. I'm not saying that cocaine is something he should like, that's good, but I'm just saying that like you need something to keep you going. Cement Athletics, people still listen to R. Kelly. I know a lot of people that still listen to R. Kelly. Do you listen to R. Kelly, Russell?
Do you listen to R. Kelly, Shawley?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
Do you?
I don't know. I'm not familiar with the name.
I actually don't even know who that is. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like,
yeah. I mean, shit.
Same girl.
Before I knew,
You
you have to understand when all these things were coming out about R. Kelly, I was a young kid, and I didn't really understand the depths of like what he was doing. Like when this shit was coming out, when he was like when they found out when they first said
when it was like rumored that he was
peeing on people. I mean, shit. Like, do you remember
I thought it was
the Dave Chappelle show? I wanna piss on you, drip, 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 drip. It's on you.
Or the Boondocks episode.
It's on you. Man, that song used to go out Comedy Central.
Damn, you really.
Yeah, I was into that song, but I mean, I just didn't know like if it was true or not. I thought Dave Chappelle was just fucking around, as he always does. So, now that I've grown older and I understand the depths of what he's done, I don't know who he is anymore. I don't know.
I
can't recall the name, man.
It makes you listen to those songs with a different ear.
Yeah, his songs are nasty now.
You know what? I'll say this. I'll be honest. I mean, like, I don't listen. Like, I never just go like, oh, I'm gonna have an R. Kelly day and listen to R. Kelly.
R. Kelly day is crazy.
There's people that do it. I see it.
I know.
I've seen it. It's like, yo, R. Kelly's still the king. I'm like, oh shit. But I was listening to I was just like on R. Kelly. I don't even know why I was on R. Kelly. I was listening to a bunch of like old school 2000s and 90s R&B because usually on Saturdays that's my type of vibe. And R. Kelly came on, and I was like, damn. Because I was about to hit next, but I was like, nah, this shit is crazy.
He has some hits, man. I'm not gonna lie.
Fuck.
Undeniable hits. Hits.
And I haven't listened to R. Kelly in a minute because, like, obviously the whole situation. I'm just kind of like, you know what, man, I don't feel comfortable listening to this. And I honestly, like, once one song came on, I was like, how many hits does R. Kelly actually have? So I went to like R. Kelly radio, or I just kind of like had his shit playing.
Yo, what up, Kels?
Let me introduce you to this girl. Think I really love this girl.
Man.
And she's so fine.
Straight up, dog. We have to do the duo on live.
I'll be Usher.
Yes, fuck, shut Absolutely not, man. Kind of gay.
Yo, Charles.
Yeah, we're good. Anyways, shout out Chris Brown. I hope you can finally get out of trouble. I hope what you did wasn't too bad. It kind of seems as if that DJ is kind of like, obviously, who wouldn't? If Chris Brown punched me, I love Chris Brown, but if he punched me, my nigga, I would be like, damn, this nigga broke my confidence. I need 20 million. Like who wouldn't do that? So it kind of seems like it's one of those situations. But like I said, we don't know the extremities of it. I hope it's nothing crazy. I hope he's able to fight his way through, and I hope it doesn't cancel the concert in September here in Houston.
Ooh. Yeah, I hope that doesn't. Nah, I think he should. I mean, he should. Yeah, hopefully he gets that taken care of. So moving on. This was like a weird, interesting topic that just kind of came out of nowhere. We're just gonna stay on the culture topic because once again, like the NBA shit, it's cool, but we can get to that a little later. Justin Bieber, TMZ reported that Justin Bieber was allegedly broke before he sold his catalog for 200 M's.
I mean, you gotta have to be broke to do that, right? Not you have to be broke, but like him of all people to sell his catalog of songs that early in his career, I thought that was pretty interesting.
You know what, that is a good take because he's like what 30?
No.
How old is Justin Bieber?
Are you okay?
What?
Oh, he's 31. Damn,
bro. Justin Bieber was our age whenever he was going crazy. Remember in high school, the Biebs.
I thought he was younger than us.
Nah, it's just I think like we just remember the peak of Justin Bieber was like when he was a child, damn near like a teenager. So I feel like we're always gonna view him that way.
I just looked up his career earnings. He's earned about $300 million in his career. When we talked about this yesterday.
Can you look up what he sold his catalog for? It was 200 M's, right?
It was like 175 because I remember we sent it in our group chat when it happened.
Yeah.
200 million.
200. Yeah, 200 million. Wow. But allegedly, the reason why he had to make that move was because he was like
In
dead
debt.
broke. Actually, in debt. Yeah, he was just dead broke. So there's like little stories about how his wife, his now wife, like requested that they get a private jet that rivaled Kylie Jenner's private plane. And then also he was supposed to go on tour. Was that when like he had to cancel his tour? Was it because like mental health or something like that, or what?
And he was also like dealing with sickness, but yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he had to cancel his tour, and that left him in like a $26 million hole, and he didn't have the money to cover it. He was like put on a payment plan to cover it. He only made one installment payment, and then he's like, I can't cover this shit. And basically, Scooter Braun took over for him, paid that, and then now he owes Scooter like 20 M's or 9 M's or something like that. Basically, he just owes a lot. He owed a lot of money, and then when he
Scooter,
sold the catalog, that kind of helped him like get back.
Scooter Braun has that much money?
Yeah, Scooter Braun's killing it.
Yeah, no, that's
I
a
mean,
lot.
Taylor Swift, Justin Bieber, like
True.
yeah.
And a bunch of other artists too, huh?
I thought I was thinking about this too, but I know I listen to a lot of like podcasts about the music industry and stuff like that. Like Scooter Braun's like that. So when you think about it, right, we're the content creators, right? So like we're content creators, but there's also people that just start businesses or like maybe manage the content creators or do whatever. There's a lot of different ways to make money within this space. So when it comes to music, I mean, he was basically like a manager / exec.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely making money. Definitely.
How do you blow through? My thing is, and I know we can say he was spending more money than he was making, but how do you blow through 300 million?
You know, when we were talking about in the chat yesterday, I was thinking about it. Think about, and for the people in the chat too, because I know Christian said, bro, 200 million.
That's a lot of money, man.
Well, he didn't blow through that. I think he's straight now. I think the reason why he had to sell his catalog because he was broke at the time.
Yeah.
I think that's what the story is. But think about it like this, right? Justin Bieber, let's say Justin Bieber makes, I don't know what a logical number is, but let's just say he makes like 20 M's a year, right? It seems like his lifestyle just was more expensive. Like we were seeing him courtside at shit. I don't know about his fleet when it comes to cars, what his house or mortgage payments look like. I mean, if you have shit where your girlfriend or your wife is requesting that you buy a private plane, I mean, you can only imagine the amount of expenses, the amount of shit that adds up over time. Designer, I mean, he doesn't wear designer. I mean, he dresses bummy, but I don't know. I just feel like that shit adds up. I wonder how much his crib costs. His crib probably like.
They said it's about 30 million.
His house.
Yeah.
I mean, come on, man. Shit. Yeah. That shit adds up. Cars. I don't know if he's into cars. You know, private flight. He probably has to fly private everywhere. Security all the time.
True.
Car, like, I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Because think about our life, right? How many times have we had conversations like, bro, like, where the fuck does the money go? like whenever you meet with your accountant, they're like, hey, you made X, Y, and Z this year. You're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, where did it go? And then you start running down the expenses and the list and shit like that. Man.
Drew. Yeah, I saw that.
He disassociated with Drew House. And I feel like that was a big moneymaker for him too.
Yeah, but I also think something happened there where he may owe the owners of Drew House something, like the co-owners. I think we might, you know, depending when TMZ gets a hold of something, man, and you know, you like to hate on TMZ. You know, I don't hate, but some people don't hate on TMZ for invading people's privacy. But TMZ is like they have a 98% hit rate where like a lot of the things that they reveal are true. So like when I saw the report yesterday in the chat that it was from TMZ, I was like, okay, this is true. Question one, is he broke right now, or was he broke before? You know, I started thinking about the things he's been posting on his Instagram. He's been posting some really weird stuff on Instagram. I'm a huge Justin Bieber fan. I'm gonna be completely honest with you guys.
You like that one? Oh, you like that one song where he's like, one less lonely nigger.
Okay, that was like he did that like on a that was like he got caught saying that off camera, right?
Nah, he was on camera. He was
Well,
singing.
yeah, but
He
like
was singing to the camera. Yeah.
yeah, but someone like in his camp revealed something that he shouldn't have revealed, right?
Shouldn't have.
Oh yeah, I mean shit.
No.
I know about that. That was like back when he was a kid.
He was I remember he was our age, yeah.
Either way, I forgave him for that.
I'm fucking around. But
I don't think he's racist, man. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know.
I don't care. I love his music. I don't care. I love his music, man.
Oh, real shit.
I think changes from start to finish. I throw on that album that album came out right before COVID, or right during COVID, or right before COVID, because I know at that time I was so excited to go to the tour when it came to Houston, and of course COVID started and it had to be canceled. But changes, man, from start to finish, an amazing album. And then you think about when he did actually have that concert like a year or two later, it was still sold out. And that's why for me it's just hard to, if anything, you would think that Chris Brown would be someone who would be broke, not Justin Bieber, but
why you say that?
I've heard stories of Chris. I mean, there was a report not too long ago that Chris Brown owed like $5 million in taxes to the IRS.
Yeah.
Yeah, and he was on a payment plan or something like that. I mean, I guess to your point, it's not really shocking that these celebrities blow through money pretty fast. I mean,
because we blow. I mean, shit, not like we blow money, but it's like we're not on that level. But we could definitely understand how shit just be like. You look at your account, you're like, why? Like, how did I spend this much? And just think about when you hit the highest of upper echelons, you just spending.
Bro, do you have a taller chair?
Oh yeah, I don't know why I'm leaning so weird.
Like it kind of looks like I'm just like it looks like you're drowning.
You know why?
I've been trying so hard not to like.
No, the way.
And I was like, bro, sit the fuck up, nigga. Damn, shit, or sit on a booster. Shit, god damn, it looks like I'm talking to a child. Like, god, fuck. Bro, I want you to replay this video when we go off live, and like, bro, I don't even know how I can react this. You're talking to me from here, and I'm just like, nigga, can you breathe, nigga? Oh my god! I started like really assessing your room. I was like, okay, he must be in an oversized chair because the frame behind him is at normal level height. I was just really like. Anyways, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like,
so because bro, like I don't know, I'm sitting like I was sitting like this, like literally just like
yes.
You know how dads sit when they just open their legs and they just sit like that? That's how I was sitting.
It's also bothering me from like a proportion aspect, like your head is not filling up the square, so it's just like, nigga, damn, like you're throwing off the proportions of this podcast.
Oh shit! No, but that was funny. So what I was saying is that like I just feel like when you get to that level, you just start spending a lot. And you don't realize how much you're spending, but I mean,
I've been there myself, man. We've been there. We've both been there.
Yeah, I'm there every year. I be wondering how the fuck. I'm like, this is one of the first years where I literally like look at everything that leaves my account. I'm like, yo, do you really need to do this right now? Nah. Like, I was gonna go to LA, and I was like, for what? Like I was gonna go to LA and see my coach and shit and train. And I was like, why? Like, why do you actually need to do this right now? And it's just like, just don't do it.
That's me every weekend. Like I have moments where I'm like, let's take a quick road trip or a quick trip to so and so. I'm on this thing now where I'm trying to like do this thing where I like go to different baseball parks and watch like games and shit. Mm-hmm. But to your point, sometimes I'm just like, maybe I should just kick it and chill for a weekend, man. Enjoy my mortgage.
Yeah.
Enjoy every cent and dollar that's put into the mortgage for this home. Maybe I should just do that this weekend. So
it's not even like we're hurting for money. It's just like when you get to the end of the year, all that shit adds up, dog. Yeah. Like if you're looking and it's like, hey, you spent $10K with Uber Eats this year. It's like, excuse me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I remember that one time during COVID. Was it during COVID? It was like during COVID around that time. Remember, I texted the chat. I was like, bro, I spent $2,000 on Uber Eats this month.
That's sick, man.
Yeah.
That's sick. That's really
But if
sick.
you're not careful and you don't monitor what you got going on, that shit's easy to do for sure.
Super easy to catch up, man. Super easy to catch up. And you know what's crazy? I was gonna say, like, we both, I could speak for myself. I don't want to speak for you. There was definitely a moment in my life where like I was spending without keeping account for what I was making, if that makes sense. I mean, you remember.
You wasn't looking at your account when you bought shit.
Yeah, I just knew that I knew what was in my account, and I knew because it was in my account, I could afford this.
Yep. Yeah.
Ferrari, bro. There was one, bro. The driveway that I'm looking at right now as I podcast, it just has one Range Rover. I'm happy with it. I love it.
Yeah.
But there was a point in my life, 2023, I had a Ferrari, I had a G63, I had this Range Rover that I still have. I had a Audi Q8, I had a Raptor R, all in one driveway.
Like at the same time, or like
same time, my
you're
brother.
sick.
Same.
How many cars? Like, okay, so at the peak of your car shit, how many cars? Like, you had all those cars in your driveway at the crib.
Wait, because I have a U-shaped driveway. I would park my Raptor over here, the Ferrari in the garage, Range Rover and G-Wagon in the driveway, and then the Audi Q8 would be in the driveway as well. It was sick. Oh, I forgot the Lamborghini yours. Like 6 cars
at once, though. Like
once.
Like why?
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Damn, bro,
that's sick.
How many cars? That's 5.
I mean, Vic remembers. I don't know if Vic was with me at that time, but it was sick, bro. I had, so let's count. Raptor R, which was my we can go down the list of the cars that I regret selling, but Raptor R, regret selling that car. I wish I kept that instead of the Range, just because I just love that truck. The Ferrari, I was happy to get rid of it. The Lamborghini, I was happy to get rid of it. That's 3. G63, I was very happy to get rid of it. That's 4. The Audi Q8, got rid of it. That's 5. And there was something else. We completely forgot about it. But yeah, 5 to 6 cars in the driveway, and you couldn't tell me. Oh, Range Rover. You couldn't tell me anything about it. Like, you know, I was just like, you know, I have options. You know, I'm making the money to do so. I have options. It took me having a conversation with my CPA at the time to kind of like wake up and realize I was an idiot.
I didn't know. See, like, I thought you were rotating them. I thought like you would have a car and then like you would sell it and then get another car. I didn't know you had them all at the same time.
At one point, I had 2 Raptors. I had a Gen 3 normal, and then I had a Gen 3 Raptor R for no reason.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was bad, bro. That was a bad time. I think me and Christian kind of went through the same like wake up phase around the same time, where like what's the word? Just like, I don't know what the word is. Crash sold. There's a term for it, but I just sold all my cars at once. I would sell them like I had a moment where I went to the Ferrari dealership and they told me it would be $6,500. So I hadn't been driving my Ferrari for such a long time, and the battery died. And you know, me being me, I was like, okay, the battery died. All right, $100 to get a new one. Let's kick it. Whoop-de-doo. Let's do it. So I went to the Ferrari, had my car towed, drove to the Ferrari dealership. My car kept dying on the way there. Got there, they told me that, you know, have you been charging your car? I was like, charging my car? Nigga, this is gas. What am I charging the gas car for? It's like, oh no, you know, when you own these cars, you got to charge them and keep them like juiced up. And you know, I was like, okay, well, I haven't been doing that. I don't even know if I have a charger.
Oh yeah, your Porsche too.
I had a Porsche GT3 RS.
That was like after the fact, right? Like kind of like
no, I sold that for the Ferrari.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So, you know, they told me keep it juiced up, whatever, and then I was like, okay, cool, whatever. You know, take it. I own a Ferrari. What can it really do with battery change? You know, what is that gonna do for me, brother? You see me.
Yeah.
When they came back, I'll never forget. I went home, and then they called me back 2-3 days later and told me that, they had found the solution. And I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna go there, pay for the solution, and get my car back because they told me that they would be able to give me my car back the same day. So I drive there, I Uber, or someone takes me to the dealership, and then I'm sitting down in their little service office, and they're like, "Okay, well, we found out the issue. Because you weren't charging your battery, your battery is essentially fried. We're gonna have to replace the battery and replace something else because you didn't drive it for so long and you weren't charging it." The bill came out for the replacement of the battery and the other part that was ruined and giving me a new charger. The bill was like $6,500. I looked at the man and I said, "You know what, man? Do you know of anyone that would want to buy this car? Because like,
They was probably looking at you crazy because it's like, bro, it's just $6,500.
yeah, no, I quickly, my face went from this to like, okay, this is the day when I realized I have to like get rid of this car. So told them that, hey, I need someone to buy this car. Ended up selling the car, made money on it. And that just kind of started the process where I sold all my vehicles, all of them. And I stayed in the one vehicle that had the least
amount of problems.
least amount of problems. Well, not least amount of problems, least amount of miles, best finance rate, and decent car note.
Yeah.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
Smartest decision I've ever made. At one point, bro, I'll be real with you, I was spending over $20,000 a month on car notes.
Yeah, I was about to say like that has. I was literally 20,000 was literally the number in my head. I'm like that all had to have cost like 20 bands a month, all just to like. You'd probably have cars you wouldn't even drive for a long ass time.
I mean, bro, the Ferrari sat in my shit. It sat in my driveway.
Being business owners, self-employed, does that make you guys more confident when y'all spend money? What is?
No, it doesn't. I think for me, it makes me. After that span of my life, and I started to like wake up to finances, and for me, I thought about 20 racks a year. That's 240,000. I could have owned 2 Bitcoins by now. Well, back then, I would have been Bitcoin rich. If I would have put all that money into Bitcoin, I would have been a Bitcoin millionaire.
Hey, just can you expand on that question too as we're talking? But like, cause I'm not too sure exactly what that means. But more confident when y'all spend a lot of money. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm sure, Shaw, you probably felt like you're on top of the world whenever like you could do. Yeah, it makes you know what it is. I mean, I'm already like very, very confident, like with or without money, anyways. Like I just walk with my chest out just because of who I am. Oh, worried about without being broke. Well, when you have a lot of money, you feel like you're always gonna have a lot of money. That's one thing. That's one thing for sure. Like when you open up your account and you're like, I could literally buy whatever I want today, you think it's always going to be like that. Like,
and you run into the problem of not putting money aside because you think that this is always going to rain.
Yeah. Like, especially like if you don't have like good financial literacy whenever you're up, it can be very costly. Like, so for example, right? Like kind of what Shawley said, like you don't think about saving, you don't think about like making smart choices. Like I'm sure, Shawley, whenever you were buying those cars, you didn't give a fuck about what rate they had you out because you felt like you could afford it.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, bro, we can go on a story about finance rates and being financially illiterate. I think that's cool. I think that's what makes this podcast cool is, we can talk through our problems and the shit that we've went through to kind of like pause on that particular thing to give an example of that. When you're up and you're at the dealership and you got millions in the bank account and you got millions pouring in, when they tell you your finance rate is 9% because you have a short credit history or you don't have like a long credit history, a nigga like me, fuck it.
Yeah.
Give me 12%, nigga. I want the Rari.
Yeah. So also too, like I remember when I was about to like my antennas go up though. Like mine went up a little bit.
I didn't have antennas. I was
so one time they were asking for a $50K down payment to get the car that I wanted, and I was like, at that time, like Better was like at its peak, and like we were doing phenomenal numbers. But then I told myself, I was like, man, this is like a personal expense that's super expensive in my eyes. But it's weird because like with Better, like we were shit, like the amount of money that we had to wire in order to like get product in, it was crazy. But when it came from me personally, I was like, I don't want to do that. But kind of wish I was saying, like, you just feel like you could buy whatever, do whatever. And that does add some confidence to you for sure. Like, I mean, like as men, like we want to be providers, we want to be doing well, and we feel like we're our best versions of ourselves when we're up. So, but yeah, going broke is not even a thought process. Like,
that's the thing though. I think one thing that I talk about in therapy is, you know, for me, without disclosing numbers, you know, obviously I'm blessed to be in a position where I do really well for myself. Um, but when you're in the game of business, one thing that I've learned, and I've learned through therapy as well, and I've learned by myself, is that, you know, obviously business has its ups and downs. Like, I'm not going to sit here and say that everything at Anaka has been completely like green, 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 green. We've had some rough days, rough weeks, rough months. As a man, especially when you're leading a household, you have a family to keep care of. There's definitely times where like you can attach your financial success, the ups and downs, to your confidence and feeling like a man, quote unquote.
hell yeah.
And when you're down or when you're having a bad day or a bad week, shit, I saw this in Nick Bear's book. The first book he ever wrote. Like, you know, business is filled of days where you're like, okay, we're not going to make it. And then an hour later, you're like, okay, we're going to make it. And then 2 days later, you're like, okay, we're done. We're about to close up. And then 1 week later, like, okay, we're going to blast off into the universe. Like we're on, you know, business is filled with that. And that's why I always say business is not for the weak, man. You got to have a strong mind for business. But a lot of men definitely tie their financial success to their everyday confidence. If they're having a bad week, bad time, a lot of men will lock themselves up and just not come out and not do anything because they just feel like they're not worthy of it. You know, they completely disregard the work they've put in before, the work they're going to continue to put in, because in that moment, everything isn't as green as they'd like it to be. So to kind of, you know, answer just RMR's question, like, you're confident, like a lot, you can definitely fall into I'm not saying this is how you should live life, because it definitely isn't, because I was a victim of this. You can definitely run into an issue where you're very confident when like everything's going well, but you lack confidence when things start to go south or when things start to get rough. You definitely want to be able to break that cycle or break that chain, because like for me personally, you only truly get to experience life and its true happiness when that doesn't bother you.
Yeah. And I think you can't let success or money make you arrogant, because like there be times where it's just like the price tag for certain things, you just be like, let's say like, you know, like a stand is supposed to cost $2,000, but then someone charges you 5-6 grand for it because you have the money, like you'll just do it. But that doesn't make sense, right? Or also too, just like the way that I just go about things. Like you don't want to like lose who you are with the money. Kind of like what Shawley was saying. Like you don't want to be like attaching your self-worth to how much money you make.
I lost myself when I mean, like I said, I still do pretty well for myself, but there was definitely a time when I first started making a lot of money, where I lost myself completely.
Yeah.
I lost myself completely. I lost who I was. I lost everything my parents brought me up on. Like, you know, my dad, very successful businessman. And even to this day, you know, I've never seen him do some of the things that I did when I when I first started making money. When I first started making money, bro, like I didn't know how to act. And I'm sure, Russ, you saw it, but I mean, Russ, you were probably doing the same thing too in a certain
Hell no. Nope.
Wait, you weren't? You weren't?
That what you was doing, nigga.
Well, not to like I said, to a certain extent. Like you were still.
You know what's so funny? Not really. Like I was kind of the same. Like I think like what happened for me in my situation was that like I just had a lot of like people around me that maybe I shouldn't have had around me, and like that's where my problem lay. That's where my problem lay. And I was just like, I just had like a lot of people around me for no reason, but like it just didn't make sense. But I'm not like, I don't really care about like I don't really care about cars, and I don't really care about a lot of stuff. My life is like super simple. Like if I could just go to the gym, I'm telling you, if I could go to the gym and watch like movies and be into my nerd shit and like travel. Oh, you know what? My vice is traveling. Traveling, I'll spend I don't it doesn't like I'll literally spend so much money going to like nice hotels, doing first class and
Shit adds
having
up.
crazy experiences overseas.
That shit
Like when I
adds up.
yeah, when I went to Japan, how much did that cost me in total? Yeah, that whole Japan Korea bender was like probably like 30 bands, 40, like just tripping, like going to a trip. I went to San Juan one time, Puerto Rico. That was like the hotel alone was like damn near 20. I thought when I flew first class to Germany one time, that was like straight up like 20.
Yep.
Like just a flight.
Yep.
Yeah, doing shit like that, that's where I would spend a lot of money on that like I really didn't have to.
Yeah.
But yeah, the other stuff, it wasn't as bad. Like you said, I come from a like my dad had a very, very big position early on in my like childhood. And I realized very quickly like that the money stuff like doesn't really affect me as much. And I kind of got used to seeing certain things. And I realized I was like, oh, I'm not interested in this, or I'm not interested in that. So I was kind of able to see that. But yeah, the stuff that I'll spend money on would definitely be like food, travel, and like experiences.
Yeah.
Unnecessary for sure.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, we both spent money unnecessarily in our own ways. And, at a certain point, it definitely catches up to you. For me, it was, just being able to sit down and look at a P&L statement for myself over the last year or two and just kind of feeling like a dumbass, when I think about the money I could have saved and kept for myself, or kept whatever, or put into other vessels that brought back money in the future. Like, yeah. I think for me, man, I love meeting kids or young adults, young males, females that are just starting to make a good amount of money, that are making like a lot of money. Because like we talk about this a lot, one thing that I tell these younger people that are, just starting to make money, you don't have to keep up with the Jones. You don't have to keep up with the Jones. You don't have to try and compete and let everyone know that you're successful by buying expensive things. Like, you don't have to do it, because guess what? When you're 6-7 years down the line and, you have a soft pillow to fall back on, and you have a large bank account to fall back on, man, that's like the greatest feeling ever. Because, now you're set, you're good, but the people that you were competing with, more than likely, most of them are probably like struggling, or like, trying to find like the next thing to like get them money, so
So you know what I just thought about? Think about all the OGs that we had whenever we were beginning our fitness journeys, and like all the cars and shit they were doing, and like the houses and all that stuff. Like I think about where they're at now. Not like they're bad off, but I think they all just realized like, oh, this shit is cap. Like all you need, like if anything, you need a crib, and that's like it. You need one car. You know what I'm saying? Do you really need to go on these crazy trips and vacations and stunt for the gram and shit? And it just comes in cycles. Like I think we're starting to mature into that element to that area where it's like that shit ain't worth it, bro. Like,
yeah, I think there's levels. I think so, because I'll say this, because I don't want to sound like if I had the money, I would be buying cars. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm saying in a sense, and I mean that by like, if someone handed me $200 million cash,
that's different.
That's what I'm saying. Like, okay, so I'm well off. I'm good. I make a good amount of money every month. Like, I'm good.
Yeah.
But it still doesn't permit me to go rack up car notes and buy cars and stuff like that. That's stupid.
But those people, that's like a whole different. That's like a different.
Yeah. So if I was Hayden Snyder level, where
you talking about like
I exited $1 billion deal.
Yeah, okay, like the owners of Ghost.
Everything that I just said,
you can't even spend that money.
Cap.
Cap. No, man. No. Like this is not like Max chewing in or
Yeah.
I just said his full name. This is not like Max or Hayden or like fucking the owners of Ghost or like like niggas like that. Nah, we not. That's different. That's like the type of shit you can't even. I would be shocked if you outspend what you got. You'd have to like forcibly try. You have to look at your account. You're like, I'm going to spend this shit right now.
Yeah.
That's different. I'm not talking about that.
It's different. I'm not there yet.
Yeah, no, hell no. That's some different shit. But moving off the car talk, do you want to talk about the Diddy shit? I just feel like it's just kind of like,
Yeah, man, I don't really care about it. I'm not gonna lie to you.
yeah, it's just there's gonna be updates like every single week or every single day, to be honest, because the trial's like daily. And
My viewpoint's the same. I suspect that he's not going to go to jail for this. I suspect also that we're just gonna find out how nasty he was, and it's gonna be nasty for a little bit. He's gonna get out. He's gonna be 0 Dark 30 on Instagram for probably 6 to 8 months. He's gonna come out with an apology post, and then he's gonna start posting casually with comments turned off, and then eventually we'll forget about it. That's it.
yeah,
That's it.
I'm tired of like,
Because I think one more thing. I think he protected himself, maybe not to get exposed, but he protected himself in a way that like he's not going to be legally responsible for a lot of these things, these nasty ass things he's doing.
nah. Well, so what I'm curious to see is just like how they tie it all together. But he's definitely like it's. I mean, I know I said earlier that like I'm calling on the side that you said, but I don't even know anymore. That's why I'm just like, let me just sit back and watch. I think like there's definitely things that can fuck him up for sure. It just depends on what the jury decides, because like the update is that like what they're trying to say is that Cassie was kind of in on it too a little bit. I'm not saying I agree, but I'm just saying what the defense is trying to portray. So it's just literally just up to the jury. Like I don't know, but I could see it both ways. I could see him getting life in prison or whatever the sentence is, and I could also see him getting out based on them like not being able to come to a conclusion without a reasonable doubt. So
yeah, I think kind of like what you said last week. There could be a good chance that he was charged for the wrong thing and he gets away. Like I don't. The thing is, even if he walks away, I think this isn't the last time that they're going to try and get at him. I think they're going to continue to try and press charges against him for the rest of his life.
yeah, he might just be cooked.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of, and I say all that to say that he might get out free, but there's a lot of shit that comes with being dragged through the mud like this. Like shit, he might be exposed for life, literally exposed for life, to where like people are going to be coming after him for a bit.
Yeah. Pause. Deb was it Debney? We'll get to that later.
Are you guys at a point where you enjoy everything you're able to fill your time with on a daily, weekly basis, along with still having done work yourself?
Yeah, we could jump on that a little later because we're already almost an hour 20 in, and we haven't even gotten to like.
Yeah, let's breeze through the topics.
Yeah. So going to the NBA playoffs, Vic, we could get to the first topic. Celtics win without Jason Tatum. I kind of like when we were on stream, I was kind of like saying I think that the Celtics will have a game where with Jason Tatum being out there, they'll have a game where they win. So obviously they're able to win. They look better. Like they look like they just moved the ball better. The threes that they were taking were a little bit better too because like they were getting it off the ball movement. I just don't think that they're going to win Game 6. So.
Yeah. Today's Game 6. I'm actually. What time does that game start?
I think it starts at 7.
7. Okay, cool. Yeah, Game 6 today. As far as betting, to comment on Game 5. Yeah, Celtics look good. I don't know, man. I really don't know what to call with this series. I think the Knicks have a chance to win, but
actually, I lied. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think Celtics are winning tonight.
Yeah,
I lied.
Unfortunately, I think that the Celtics might win tonight and force a Game 7. If the Knicks don't want to deal with doing all this hard work and building up all this hype and going home, they should get it done tonight. But, a lot of people that I follow and fuck with the Knicks, They don't even feel confident in the Knicks tonight because they just played really bad last game. And I don't know. They would just need to, in order for the Knicks to win, they need the Celtics to have an off night. They can't win head to head. It's not like one of those head to head battles that they can win. If both teams are playing really well, they can't win head to head. It has to be a situation where the Celtics are missing their 3-point shots.
Yeah.
So
the Celtics are a good team. They were just taking horrible shots, like horrible. Like when you watch it, you're like, why are you dribbling up the court and like literally just taking like a heat check 3 to start the game? Like, why are you doing that?
They literally take heat check threes the entire game. So, like I said, I would love to see the Knicks win. I'm rooting for the Knicks tonight. I might sprinkle a little money on it for the Knicks to win tonight, but that game's kind of 50-50 for me, man. Even though it's in Madison Square Garden, man, I would have loved to be at that game tonight. I've never been to Madison Square Garden before, but even though it's there, I just see the Celtics, if they play remotely similar to how they played Game 5, it's too much for the Knicks to handle. They were fucking the Knicks up on the ball rotations and the movements. Like it was almost like they were just playing with a JV team. They were just fucking them up, bro.
Yeah.
They were fucking.
I think it just depends. Like Jalen Brunson really, really has to do a lot for them to win. And the problem with that is that they could throw bodies at Jalen, sorry. So it's like I for sure have the Celtics tonight. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It's crazy is that the Knicks are favored to win, which I think is interesting. And I'll tell you my theory on this for betting purposes. Yesterday we had Nuggets were underdogs. And I think this game may go the same way. The Nuggets were underdogs at around 150, 130, I'm pretty sure. And plus 130, 150. And, they dropped I think Vegas dropped an injury tabloid 2 hours before the game to fuck with people's heads. So they dropped the injury tabloid and said Jamal Murray was injured or he was sick. And I immediately told you guys in the chat that this nigga's going to come out and drop 20 plus 25 points, and he did. And I think that was a ploy because public money was heavy on the Nuggets, which means that the Nuggets were actually plus 200, plus 230. That means that if majority of the public money is on the Nuggets to win and the Nuggets actually win, Vegas has to do a huge payout to all the Nuggets bettors.
Mm-hmm.
So dropping that tabloid 2 hours before the game, I know it did. So I'm gonna go ahead and set it. It forced a lot of people to cash out of the Nuggets bet and switch over to the Thunder -7 and roll with the Thunder because Jamal Murray's out. There's no way the Nuggets are gonna win. Thunder's already with their back against the wall. Thunder's gonna already come out and close out the series. And I think that's what happened. And I think tonight they're trying to get people to think that because New York is back at home, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some injury bullshit that pops up in the next 2 hours. They're trying to get people to realize, they're trying to get people to believe that since the Knicks are at home, minus 150 at home, heavily favored to win, you might as well go with the Knicks to close out. But, a lot of people are probably on the Celtics because they watched the last game.
Yeah. I think, they just they're playing a little bit better without Tatum. I think like their season, whenever Tatum was like injured or not playing, I think they were like 10-2 or something like that, or like they're pretty solid. So they have a really deep team. I personally think that they're gonna win tonight. Definitely wouldn't be surprised if they win tonight.
On paper, they're still a better team.
Huh?
On paper, they're still a better team.
Yeah. I know some people were saying the Knicks. So I'm like, what the hell no.
On paper, the Celtics are still a far better team.
Did you see that? Did you see that Brunson has a record for most fourth quarter points in 10 games in the playoffs?
I believe it. But one thing I'll say about Jalen Brunson is that I feel like he's clutch. Don't get me wrong, phenomenal player. But I think the Knicks in the closing times, he's clutch. A lot of teams know that they're going to him. I think the Knicks they relied too much on him in the closing times.
For good reason.
No, for sure. But sometimes you'll watch the last 8 minutes of a fourth quarter or last 6 to 8 minutes of a Knicks game and it's close, or they're trying to get back into the game, and it's like he's dribbling for 14 seconds.
Yeah.
And he exhausts a lot of the shot clock, and it's either like a kick out to Mikal or Anunoby to shoot a 3 or Josh Hart, or it's a force into Cat to develop and score. So like, I don't know. I feel like if they want to win tonight, man, the key is to activate Cat early. Activate Cat early. Get Mikal and Anunoby, getting the shots in when they want to. Save Jalen Brunson for like later. Maybe get him warmed up with a couple shots here and there and get him some buckets, but activate Cat first.
Yeah.
Get him activated, hype, get the defense activated, hype up, get Cat activated. If you can get Cat activated first, I'll just stop there. If you can get Cat activated and hot first, the Knicks are going to win.
Yeah. But they don't, I don't know. Sometimes they do it, sometimes they don't.
Yep.
But we'll see. So moving on from that, what's the series that they closed out? Hold on, let me pull it up on my because now we're getting to the point where it's getting close to the Western Conference Finals. Nuggets beat the Thunder to force a Game 7. Kind of. Did we call that? Did we say Nuggets were going to force a Game 7?
You called it, yeah.
Okay, I can't remember. Yeah, okay.
Thunder, they're kind of disappointing me, man. I don't know what the hell is happening.
The reason why for me that it's close is because the Thunder, they're good, but they're just young. Like I think that they're just a little unproven and they haven't been there quite yet. Whereas like the Nuggets are experienced.
Yeah.
So I think that's just kind of like helping them out in this series. I don't know. I just feel like Shy did have a good game. It's just those young players like learning how to just kind of like play through the type of basketball that's played in the playoffs. That's all it is to me. I feel like next year or in the next 2 years, they'll win the championship for sure because now they're experienced and they know what to expect.
Yeah. I mean, if they squeezed it out this year, they have a good shot, but they need to beat Thunder. I think whoever wins out of this series is winning the championship. I'll go ahead and say that.
For
this
sure.
This to me is the NBA championship. This series right here. Yeah. Whoever wins out of this wins the championship. And I'm very excited to watch this game. I'm going for the Thunder. I want Shy to get his ring, but he's got to come ready to play. Like he said in his interview yesterday, it's live or die. You got to come ready to kill. He's got to come ready to kill.
You know what? I just realized they still haven't announced the MVP for this year.
I know, but they usually announce it around the finals series. I don't know why everyone's tripping about that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
I forgot. I was like, yeah, it's been a minute. They should announce it. They should announce it today or tomorrow, to be honest, to make that series even crazier. Because it's between Shy or Jokic.
Let me look that up. When do they normally announce?
Because if they announced it right now, that would make that game so hyped. Because it's like, yeah, if one of them gets slided, and it's like, oh shit, like they took your MVP, go crazy tonight, or like win the series.
Oh, I'm wrong. It's supposed to be announced this week.
I feel like it's a great opportunity to announce it tomorrow.
They're probably going to.
Yeah, that's because the game is on what, Sunday or is it Saturday?
Damn, Sunday.
Sunday at 2. They should announce it tomorrow for sure. Tomorrow. If it's shot, you know what? Whoever the MVP is, they're gonna lose.
Yeah, I can see that.
The other team's gonna take it personal and they're gonna attack.
I can see that.
Yeah.
Shy's gonna win though. We know that.
I'm not
too late.
I'm not too sure, but I feel like Jokic has a good chance too. It's like a toss-up.
NBA MVP race.
Odds, right? Or
yeah, I mean SGA wasn't the last I knew. SGA was in top place. The WNBA starts today, by the way. I think that's
WNBA.
Yeah.
Is Caitlin Clark on tonight or what?
I bet on some games. The games that I bet on, I took the Atlanta Dream. They're playing the Washington Mystics, and then of course Paige Buchers. She makes her debut tonight. Dallas Wings. That's where she plays with.
Fever. Right.
Okay, so yeah, Angel Reese plays on the Sparks.
No.
Sky. So they play tonight. Oh shit! Angel Reese versus Indiana Fever tonight.
Who's Vic? I think you have it
Yeah,
echoing.
we're echoing.
There it
Uh,
is.
Angel Reese plays against Caitlin Clark tonight.
Where? I don't see it. That's weird.
So it's Sky versus Fever. No, I'm tripping. Hold on. It's Sky versus Fever. Yeah.
I don't. That's weird. I don't see that.
Oh, it's tomorrow.
Yeah,
It's tomorrow.
Yeah.
Tomorrow. I'm tripping. My
Okay.
bad.
Yeah. See, 'cause I was like, there's no way that they're because the games I'm looking at tonight, they're like on like a weird channel.
Isn't it weird to be getting excited about WNBA?
Oh,
Who would have
yeah,
thought?
yeah. Not.
Who would have thought?
I've always like, when I started fucking with the WNBA when Kobe was when Kobe co-signed it. So like I started watching a little bit of it and I was like, oh damn, like these girls can hoop.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, I've been like kind of watching from afar, but not actually tuning in. And I've always been a fan of women in sports, but it is weird now where it's like I'm legit like so. Like remember last year, bro? I literally I would tune in to WNBA games and watch them from start to finish.
Yeah.
I probably watched more WNBA games than I did NBA games last year.
Really?
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah. I'm being so serious. Like I'm not even being funny. Like
I mean, I got into WNBA last year too. Like, yeah, it's actually very interesting.
because I stopped watching NBA because like they literally don't play hard. So I'm like I don't like watching things where I can see the athletes are not trying. And the WNBA they play hard as fuck.
Yeah.
They play 2000s basketball. They be like they be punching each other and shoving each other and shit and getting all in each other's faces, talking shit. I'm like, damn, I fuck with this.
I will say that my favorite forms of basketball are college basketball, male and female, and then WNBA. NBA is probably my last, except for playoffs. And it's going to be even harder for me to watch the NBA regular season last year because one, I know how long it's going to take to get to the playoffs, and two, we just got like probably one of the best playoff series in a very long time. The playoffs this year has been phenomenal. By far the most entertaining level of play in a very long time. So it's going to be hard for me to tap into the NBA regular season next year. I'll probably have to ride football for a little bit longer. Yeah.
I didn't watch. I don't think I watched one full NBA game this year. Like during the regular season.
Yeah.
Like not one. I think maybe I had it. Like maybe I turned on a. Nah, man. Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't watch one. I would watch some games here and there of Wemby and Chris Paul just to see their chemistry and shit. But a full game, no, I never like tuned in. I would turn it off or just like wait for the TNT inside crew to talk.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll tune into a TNT game because those games are like the TNT halftime is more entertaining than the game.
Yep.
Which happened a lot this year. I'm not gonna lie. Happened a lot.
Like where you did that, where you tapped into the TNT inside crew?
Only for them, not for the game.
Yeah. The games it's tough to watch athletes whenever they
half-ass.
Yeah. And it. Like, you just see it. KD called out Emmanuel Ocho on Twitter. Did you see that conversation?
Yeah, I saw that.
What are your thoughts? I guess what are your thoughts on people that or what are your thoughts on the concept of like people commenting on things that they haven't done professionally?
I think if you're a sports commentator, that's kind of your job. That's how people like to hate on Stephen A. Smith for commenting on sports and stuff, but like that's his job. So I don't agree with that. I used to think it was corny, but then I realized that this is what they get paid to do. So like let them do their job. I understand where KD's coming from because he's right. You shouldn't comment on shit that you don't know anything about. But at the end of the day, whether he played football or he didn't play football, his job now is to sports commentate, and that's his job. He's supposed to have takes and make comments on things. So I see both sides.
Yeah. I'm kind of in the same boat. Like I understand the frustration of like someone commenting on something that you do at a high level and they don't, and it's like, bro, you don't know about this. But also too, it's like it's basketball. It's not like we're commenting on fucking like neurosurgery or whatever. Like we can really see like, hey, like when this guy's on the court, this team tends to play better and it looks better. Like it doesn't take like a scientist to kind of break that down. But then also from Katie's perspective, it's like you don't know the ins and outs and like you don't know what we're actually dealing with. So like for you to say that, you don't know exactly what you're talking about.
What was his comment? What was Emmanuel Oko's comment? And what I have two questions. What was his comment? And then what happened to his football career?
Hold on, let me pull it up because let me go to Katie's Twitter.
It's one thing that I've never really been able to figure out. Did like he get cut or did he choose to retire? Like I know his brother was good, right?
So basically what Emmanuel Ocho tweeted, he was on a show. He said that the Celtics match up better against the Knicks without Jason Tatum than they do with him. I don't want to play the clip, but basically he's saying that they play better with Jaylen Brown as the leader because they play more tough, I guess, or whatever. That's what he was kind of getting at. And he said that most of the times NBA teams take after their superstars. So Jaylen Brown's a tough player. They play more tough and more gritty, and they play better defense. Kevin Durant said, hot take, artists have ruined the sport. Football guys, no disrespect, but y'all boys need to stay in y'all lanes. You don't know what it's like. You know what it's like in between those lines, man. Give it a break. Dudes who quit football early to pursue media talking mental toughness, cut it out.
Yeah.
Like
I said, I see KD's side, man. I see where he's coming from.
So Emmanuel, I mean, he wasn't like he. I remember I think he played at UT because I think I remember the Ocho brothers because I think he has a brother that's like cold.
His brother is good.
Yeah,
his brother played. I know his brother played on the Eagles, right?
Something. Ocho. Sam Ocho. What's his brother's name?
I think it's Sam.
It's Sam, right?
Yeah, Sam Ocho. Yeah, isn't he gay?
Huh?
Isn't his brother gay?
I don't know that, brother. I don't think so. But I remember because like growing up, the Ocho brothers were like a thing. I remember like they're like a big deal. I think they're from like Dallas or Houston, or not Houston exactly, but like they're from Texas, aren't they?
I'm so sorry. He's not gay, man. I take that back.
What?
He made a comment about them being gay. There's gay players in the NFL.
Oh, you saw an article where they talk about being gay?
Yeah. He made a comment about some NFL players being gay. Like he knew of, yeah.
Okay. Yeah, he I don't even think he made I think he made like an active roster, but he wasn't like he was like a backup or like a third string.
Emmanuel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't like I think his career was very brief. I don't think he quit. I think he had to quit.
Yeah.
I think he got cut and he just never got picked up again. Because his response to it was
his brother played for real though.
His brother was nice.
His brother played 8 years in NFL. Shit. His brother played.
Yeah, his brother was cold. The Ocho brothers. I remember them. Did they both played at UT, right?
I hadn't seen that. His brother played a while though.
Yeah.
So his brother put up a pretty decent career. So that's good.
Yeah, he was. I mean, they're both right. Kind of like what you said. I see both sides, but I think it's interesting whenever people say stuff like that because, like I said, it isn't. We're watching you play, dog. Like, I could comment and say, "Hey, man, I think you have more success when you drive to the hole because right now you're 5 for 5 in the paint. And you keep shooting these threes. You're over 5 from the 3. Like, just go to the paint." But
damn.
I feel KD. Bron said he used to care too much about what people thought of him, and that kind of held him back from maybe kind of like being the best version of himself. What do you think about that comment and just how much he's been talking as of late?
I told you this myself. I love LeBron. Like I love LeBron with everything in my body, bro. I'm a LeBron sexual. Like
you love him with everything in your body.
Everything. If there was a voting poll and it was, what's my gender, male, female, bronsexual, I would check bronsexual. So that's the kind of the level of love and respect that I have for that man. However, I've told you this in the recent group chat is that like, Um, the nigga needs to shut up, bro. Like, like he just needs to shut his mouth, man. Like, I am very scared for post LeBron, post NBA LeBron. I hope he. Nah, and I don't want to say come off as like shut up and dribble. I just want him to be himself, man. Like I just feel like, as a LeBron fan, I kind of get this feeling where he's trying to be something or someone that he's not. And I think when he goes down that, like, I love the shop. The shop Bron is like my favorite version of like off court LeBron. The
Yeah.
shop. That's my shit. Because in those episodes, you can tell he's being himself. He's just kind of letting loose and being himself. When you start putting him on podcasts where he's trying to start sound a certain way, or you start putting him in important interviews and stuff like that, like the Pat, what do you have, the cafe? McAfee. Shit. That interview was really good. I like that.
That was really good.
I felt like he was being himself. But that Steve Nash episode, the podcast, honestly, the Mind for Game podcast has its pros and cons, because sometimes I just kind of feel like LeBron is just like not being himself. And I think when he's not being himself, it's just very cringe for me. So like that comment he made about, being fearful of what people thought about him, suppressing his ability to become as great as he wanted to be. I believe it. I believe he definitely was probably one of those ones that didn't have the enough mental toughness to like block out what people were saying.
Mhm.
But I feel like when you come out about it now, it can be perceived as you trying to make an excuse for not getting 5 or 6 rings, and I feel like the more and more we get comments like that from LeBron, I feel like it might start to like, let me not say that, but it's just gonna start to leave a little. It's gonna leave a little sort of like bullet spots on his.
You know why you don't like it? Because you spent so many years defending that type of like talk. Like you spent, come on, we've literally had these conversations amongst each other, like with people in our group. It's like, yo, Braun is mentally weak. He doesn't have that clutch gene or X, Y, and Z. And you're like, what are you talking about? X, Y, and Z. And you defended that with like everything you were in your fucking heart. And here he is coming out saying it's like, yeah, like I cared too much about what people thought. Like, and that kind of held me back a little bit. So it just kind of like adds like a little dent to the armor that I feel like a lot of his like big time supporters wanted to, I guess, cover up. But yeah, it kind of doesn't look good from his perspective because it gives like people that don't fuck with him ammunition. But I also think he's just gotten to a point in his career where he doesn't give a fuck anymore. Like his career is kind of like already written. Like there's nothing else he's gonna do that's gonna make the conversation between who's the GOAT any different.
I agree with that. And you know what? At the end of the day, everyone is entitled to their own way of doing things and opinions. And I still respect the man, and I still got love for the man. He's still my favorite player of all time. But I think sometimes when he says things, it's like I get scared because I feel like, okay, this might hurt. This might actually, give me less reasons to start to defend you in the group chat. Like,
because now there's gonna be ammunition. All we have to do is clip that thing. It's like, nah, this is your man saying this right here.
Yeah, and then I saw that Steve Nash responded and said, "Kobe does."
That was bad.
He was like, "Kobe wasn't," and he got so uncomfortable.
You could tell. I felt the energy getting a little uncomfortable.
Yeah,
it's like, yeah, you know who didn't care? I don't think Kobe gave a fuck. And I'm like, because he kind of because Steve Nash owns he's like, guys like me, you. I said, lumping LeBron in with Steve Nash is crazy. Like Kobe doesn't. I mean, LeBron doesn't want to be lumped in with you. Like the way he just said that, I'm like, I don't think Bron want to be lumped in with that conversation.
LeBron also came up in a different era where like social media was so prominent, and like you're the way you looked to like the mass media I think it just became a lot more important in LeBron's era versus like Michael's and Kobe's. Now LeBron has eyes on him 24/7, essentially. Kobe's career, Michael's career, like they could at least have some privacy. Now it's non-existent. Social media, people recording you, tweeting you, whatever. It was different. So I understand where LeBron's coming from, and I definitely think that everything he's saying is true. Not that it's wrong that he disclosed that, because it could help someone out there that may be dealing with the same thing, especially these younger kids in today's generation. I just, as a fan, I wish he didn't say that, because I want to maintain this image for selfish reasons, maintain this image of LeBron being this tough dog,
I was also
that was fucking crazy, man. That was fucking crazy.
I was trying to keep it together. I'm like, bro, what did you, bro, tough dog? Like
Rough. Yeah,
that was great. So what I was gonna say is I think Bron is actually above doing podcasts. Like, why is he doing podcasts?
I don't blame him, man. Like, I mean, shit, he's bored. I think, honestly, man, when you have a 22-year career, or 23 maybe when he's done, like, it's gonna be hard for him to go back, bro. I talk about this a lot. I think there needs to be some sort of documentary or study that comes out on players that, like, the transition between playing professional sports to like living a normal life. Like,
oh, they talk about it. They talk about it. Gil's Arena talks about it, and then Matt Barnes, All the Smoke, talked about it in a couple episodes.
I'm sure
they said it's a hard transition, and some of them get like super depressed.
Yeah.
And like a lot of them end up breaking up with their wives because it's like, oh, I actually don't like you. Like, now that I'm home 100% of the time, I just realized I actually don't fuck with you. So they end up like getting divorced, and then like that's when their life goes to shit, because then the wife takes half, or just like they have to like introduce themselves to their kids because they don't even know who their kids are. Like,
yep, depression is real.
The money not coming in like it was before, or maybe the wife leaves you because like she only wanted to be with you because you're an athlete making explosive money.
Yep.
I mean, think about it, bro. Like, if you're in a locker room surrounded by men all the time, that sounds crazy. If you're in a locker room surrounded with your boys all the time, and like you guys are on the plane, and like the camaraderie of like just having the homies with you and fighting for one common cause, and you go to just like you're in the crib all day long, like you actually don't have shit to do all day. That's just depressing. It has to be.
Yeah.
Unless like you have a good transition. Like Kobe won an Oscar or like a Grammy immediately after he retired, and he was setting up his production company. He talked about how like he has like an office, like a place where he reports to, and a place that he would work at, and he was like building things. So I think it just depends on the player and like what they're able to actually transition to after they stop playing.
I still think Kobe had a hard time transitioning too.
He said he didn't. Because he said he broke it down like this. He said that he gave his absolute all to basketball, and when it was time for him to hang it up, he literally had nothing left. And he had already started making plays behind the scenes to help him transition. So that's why when he said like the letter to basketball or whatever, or the thing that won the Oscar or the Grammy, he said he spent a lot of time doing that, and that he would like have constant meeting with people and dissecting things and learning things. So he had a genuine curiosity for things outside of basketball that allowed him to find purpose, and he didn't really struggle. Because like when you think about it, he wasn't a crazy team guy. He was like a lone wolf. He'd work out extremely hard, go back to his family.
Yeah, true. Another thing is the part you said about him saying that he gave everything he literally had to the sport of basketball. We have to remember Kobe didn't need to retire. He could have still played.
Nah, man.
Nah, I'm saying like physically, he could have still played. Bro, he dropped 60 in his last game.
Bro, do you remember that? And I literally have Kobe's shit tatted on my leg. That last season, I didn't even watch his games because there was like he was.
No, but like it's not any different than how LeBron's playing right now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh no,
he was worse off than LeBron.
Way worse.
I don't remember.
Worse. He
he was going 20 for 50 in game. He was going like 10 for 50 in game. It was bad.
No, he wasn't even shooting like that.
I remember towards the end of his career, he was definitely like his field goal percentage was off the charts.
No, man, it was
In a bad way.
His last season was like, okay, yeah, this is it. So that's why the 60-pointer was so crazy, because it's like, where did this come from? Like,
I guess I gotta go back and watch tape because
okay, look, like before he injured his Achilles, he was averaging 27, and he was dragging the Lakers to the playoffs. But then he injured his Achilles, and then he spent all that time coming back. Man, he was cooked, man. The reason why he was so fucked up, and they were literally just talking about this on Gil's Arena. He tore his Achilles on his dominant jumping leg. So I think it was like his left leg where he tore it, and it just cooked. Like, it was done. It was done.
Carrie just said that too. Kobe was coming off that injury. I didn't know. I've been watching basketball my whole life. I remember the Achilles injury. And you have to also think about it. I saw this on Gil's Arena too. Like, he walked on that bitch.
He's different, bro. Walked, shot his 2 free throws, and then literally walked out of the arena, and then
Jason Tatum, no disrespect to Jason, it might be a different type of tier, but shit.
No,
I mean, that bitch.
It just goes to show like how mentally tough he was. I mean, I remember watching game, like, bro, there's so many stories. They said he tore his he fucked up his rotator cuff. He just started shooting with his left hand.
Yeah.
Or like he fucked his finger up, and they say, hey, pop it back in. Because he's like, hey, you're done for the day. He's like, what the fuck, bitch? Pop! Go back in.
Man, this is why, like, sometimes, I've put Kobe, maybe because he's gone, and maybe because I just have so much respect for him because I watched him growing up. When you talk top 3, top 5, whatever, obviously people talk MJ LeBron. I don't even put Kobe on that list. Kobe has a special place, and this is just me personally. No one has to agree with this, but like, Kobe just has like a special place for like a one-of-a-kind type player. I don't even think, if you really think about it, man, I think Kobe's mental toughness far exceeded Michael Jordan's.
Yeah, so that's
100%. I'm not even think, nigga, like, Kobe's mental toughness and dedication to the game far exceeded Michael Jordan and LeBron put together by far.
Yeah. Well, it had what I think what makes Kobe so endearing, and especially like, this is me speaking, is like, he's like an overachiever. He's the try hard. You know those kids like in sports, like when you're on the team, like, this motherfucker just, like, you just try too damn hard, bro.
Coach said we have one more suicide. Not like he would like. Yeah.
It's like, hey team, we don't have to run the extra suicide today. No, coach, let's do it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
But like, I resonate with that because he was that, but then on top of that, he was also talented. Like, he did have talent for the game. So it's like, you with less talent, it gives you no excuse. Like, you have to, like, if he's working that hard, you have to work that hard. But
made
like,
his teammates better.
Yeah, just the like things he was able to work through, the things that like he imparted to different players, like his work ethic, like, yeah. I mean, shit, man. You realize there's not a lot of players like that. Like, and the reason why I say that, I mean, yeah, his mental toughness is definitely better than Jordan's. Tim Grover said that Michael and Jordan were different because Michael knew how to work smarter. The problem with Kobe was that you had to tell him to stop working. Yeah. And it's like,
he's a workhorse.
Yeah, he said Jordan, when you worked out with Jordan, Jordan would be like, I have 45 minutes, put me through whatever you need to put me through in order to get me to where I want to go. Kobe was like, I have all day for you to destroy me. Let's do it. Mm-hmm. And he'll literally commit to that. And Tim Grover would have to be like, yo, you actually need to rest. Like, yo, we can't do 4 days today. Like, you got to chill out, right? So, yeah, when you hear all the different stories about the people that used to train Kobe, the people that were teammates with Kobe, the people that used to coach Kobe, he was like a sick fuck. Like, he would do shit. Like, I watched the Craig Hodges interview on All the Smoke. He said that the opposing team showed up for their practice in LA, and Kobe said, yo, watch this. And he literally just started doing suicides as fast as he possibly could. And the team couldn't even practice because they were like,
What the fuck is he doing?
Yeah, what the fuck is he doing? And there's so many stories about that. And yeah, I that's why Kobe's like Kobe's my favorite athlete of all time.
Yeah, he's definitely. I think as time progresses, and I dabble or dig more into like his career and like the stuff that I tried to put off for such a long time because I was such a T-Mac fan or a LeBron fan.
Yeah.
If I go back and really like dissect his career and like his mentality, one, there's a lot I'll learn from it. The thing is, Kobe exceeded, just the court because he helped a lot of people mentally because of his toughness. LeBron can't really say that much about him except for like his God-given talent and his athleticism. That's it. And then obviously his entrepreneurship, like that's it. But as far as like gaining mental toughness from LeBron,
No.
apart from that series where he's like this in Boston,
Yeah.
Miami,
That's my favorite Braun game of all time. I mean, like
that series will give anyone chills. Apart from that series, man, I don't really have. As a LeBron fan, I can't really put much on the table to match up with Kobe's past. So
yeah,
rest in peace, Kobe, man, one of the greatest to ever do it. Like I said before I veered off, I have LeBron, Michael, whoever you want, Steph Curry, whoever on the NBA list. Mount Rushmore.
Do you legit have Braun? We don't have to do a full discussion, but do you legit have Braun over MJ? No, I'm like just I forget he's Braun's your number one, right?
Next question.
Because look, I'll explain it like this. Actually, no. I mean, fuck it. Yeah, no. Kobe is my favorite player all time, but I know, like for me, he's not better than Michael Jordan, right? So then for you, LeBron is better than Michael Jordan.
Man, you can't ask me this question right now. Obviously, my answer is like, yes, LeBron is the best player of all time. But the way LeBron, and this is why I'm starting to favor LeBron just like hanging it up and retiring. The way he played in this last NBA series against the Wolves, man, like it just left such a bad taste in my mouth as a LeBron fan. And the way he's talked about it after has left a bad taste in my mouth. I hate
anything in your mouth when it comes to Braun.
What?
Like I don't want you to taste anything in your mouth when it comes to Braun.
Okay. Well, yeah, don't worry. I'm not doing that. But yeah. Just you have to ask me that question at a different time. Yeah, LeBron is definitely a better gifted, talented, athletic version of Kobe. Sorry, he's a better gifted, athletic, talented, honestly, than both of them. But I think being a great player comes with a lot more than just talent and athletic ability.
Yeah.
Definitely mental toughness. So if you were looking at LeBron's my player, mental toughness is probably like at a 60.
60 is crazy.
Okay, that's pretty crazy. 77.
Yeah.
77 is solid.
Yeah.
But that's like the only thing he's slacking at. Everything else is phenomenal. Peak prime LeBron. But that's where I feel like the other athletes, Kobe and Michael, have him defeated on. Like if you look through their my player, they're all pretty even everywhere else. But when it gets to mental toughness, even though LeBron's my favorite player, when it gets to that mental toughness attribute.
Yeah. I just remember those times whenever Kobe would challenge Braun to the one-on-ones and Braun wasn't having it.
I mean, why would they play one-on-one though?
No, I'm just talking about like in the All-Star games. Like, when it's like he'd be at the top of the key and he's like, boom. I remember that one time I think he slapped the floor or like he's like, let's go. That nigga said, pass that bitch. Everyone was like, oh my God, come on, man. That shit was iconic. I remember that.
Yeah.
It was like the 2013 All-Star game or some shit?
I remember that.
Peak NBA.
I adored their friendship though, man.
Ooh.
Kobe and Braun.
You adored it?
I love their friendship. Like it was really good, man. It just I don't know, this whole Kobe.
You think they were friends?
Huh?
You think they were friends?
Yeah. You haven't seen like the the shit that they've played after, like, yeah, they were friends, man. Like they were cool. They were, but they even said that me and Kobe weren't close during basketball, but we got really close once he retired.
Already became a Laker.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like, man, even talking about this Kobe stuff is getting me sad. But
that's my favorite player. Jay,
different.
whenever Jay hits me to work out, Jay will send me like something about Kobe, and like for some, like I don't know if this is like true for you with LeBron, but like anything that's about Kobe, I have to like give 100% effort.
Yeah, that's a good way to start your morning off. Honestly, listening to some Kobe or like watching some Kobe highlights.
Yeah, I used to work out to Kobe highlights.
Doesn't get any greater than that, man.
When I have my
just
phone.
kind of pushes you to push through whatever you're going through, and yeah.
But that's pretty much, I mean, shit. That's all the topics. 2 hours basically that we've been on here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to see if there's anything else that we need to talk to, but that's pretty much everything. We covered everything. So tonight you got out of the Thunder and Nuggets. I mean, out of the Knicks and Celtics, you got.
Out of the Knicks and Celtics, I want the Knicks to win, but I think the Celtics are probably going to pull away and close it and make it a game 7. I think the NBA, like everyone likes to say, I think the NBA wants a game 7. They just need more money, more entertainment. But I think it's a similar situation to yesterday where if you're like, I'm not going to say this because the Knicks could win, but like if you are heavy into like favorites and you don't even look the other way when it comes to like underdogs, or if you just believe that the Knicks are actually a better team than the Celtics and you ride with the Knicks tonight, you might be disappointed. I think it's the similar situation to yesterday where like, yeah, I think the Celtics probably handle it tonight and make it a game 7. If they're going to choke, it's going to be game 7.
Yeah. I want it to be game 7 because I guess it's easy to watch. So
game 7, New York. Who wouldn't want to watch that? So
yeah, got the homies coming over. Finna probably cheat on my diet. Yeah. But anyways, appreciate y'all helping us get to 100 subs on here.
I feel like we're picking up a flow. Like I like this. It's getting good, man.
I feel like once we start getting to the streams, like we're able to knock out maybe like a quick hour 30 or something like that. That's gonna be dope. Yeah, we got 200 views, damn near 800 views to close the video out already.
I think what helps is obviously the catchy topics, consistency, and then also like what we talk about.
Yeah, and once again, y'all, like being active in the chat makes it dope. Like I feel like just the conversation, like whenever just RMR asked that question about having confidence when everybody spend a lot of money, we spent like 20 minutes on that, bro. Like, or like oh shit. Before we close it out, I don't know if you want to like. She probably way out of this, but Debney. Nah, it's kind of hot in my apartment. I don't know if you want to answer that question.
What was the question?
She said, are you guys at a point where you enjoy everything you're able to fill your time with on a daily/weekly basis, along with still having time to work on yourself?
We talked about that.
Yeah, we've kind of touched on that. Basically, yeah. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie, this is the best that I've felt in 5 years, 6 years. Yeah. Like happiness wise, fulfillment wise. There's other areas that I wish I could bring up, which I can. So I'm cool. Like I'm chilling. Oh shit, she's still here.
Oh damn.
Yeah, I'm chilling. This is the happiest I've been. I feel fulfilled. Sometimes I get a little bit bored just because I don't have a lot on my plate right now, but I'm trying to put more on my plate, so I feel great.
For me, I think life went through a transitional phase for me where I would say like bad things were happening, but like just a lot of change was happening, and I feel like every day gets better. So let me hear your question again. For me, I was bored. I needed more stuff to do on a daily basis. I finally have more stuff to do on a daily basis. I'm constantly looking for more things to do on a daily basis. I don't know. There's no fun in just sitting down and just wasting away life. Obviously you do need downtime to like kick back and watch sports or like watch your favorite TV show, but that can't be like 90% of your life. You gotta You gotta find something that gives you purpose or makes you want to do something or makes you want to get better at it. Whether it's working out, reading a book, playing golf, getting better at golf, getting better at tennis, like something. Recently I thought about enrolling in flight school and becoming a pilot. I mean, just doing something to like setting some sort of goal to like do, just not sit around doing nothing. That's where people just start to think. And when you have too much time to think by yourself, you can think about a lot of things. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm shit. Enjoying life. I think sometimes when I have too many niggas around me, that's when life gets kind of complicated for me.
It's very true.
Yeah.
Very
So
true.
yeah, thankful. But yeah, appreciate you guys tapping in. Once again, like when you guys are in like the live portion of it, it does make it a lot more fun whenever you guys do tap in and be interactive with us. Appreciate you, Just RMR, Debney, Kari, you came in a little bit later. Junior knows best. We didn't answer exactly what you were saying, but you tapped in too. So appreciate y'all. This is episode number 6, right?
Yeah.
Episode number 6.
Keep a lookout for the Trash Talk Instagram page, and we're gonna be doing a giveaway there, so keep a lookout for that.
We're gonna be filming our intro hopefully next week. Vic, please send whoever they were supposed to be designating us to or whatever, so we can get that situated next week for sure. For sure. But anyways, I'm gonna go get something to eat, man. I'm hungry as fuck. All right, appreciate y'all.
Yeah.